Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Martins Monday Moanings, where I moan on a Monday. There's nothing more annoying than a soft launch. A soft launch is so annoying. You go on Instagram, there's a girl holding a hand. It's just a picture of her hand holding a hand. You don't know who that hand belongs to. Why are you protecting this man's identity? We need our entertainment. We need our content. Stop soft launching. Stop doing teasers, little teaser promos. Post a picture of you pouting, covering the guy's face, or his face is just not in it. Why are you protecting this man's identity? Is he Batman? Is this man Batman that you have to protect his identity? Stop that nonsense. There's nothing more annoying than a soft launch. It's a missed opportunity to create some content. Just like South Africa missed an opportunity to create content with the Real Housewives version of the coalition discussions. Should have got a whole team, all the camera people in there, get Showmax on board or Netflix or someone, and be like, this is the coalition conversations, the Real Housewives of coalition discussions. Cut to Fikile Mbalula's typical. You got Helen Ziller in those conversations. She could just be like, oh, you know, that dramatic music cuts away. Oh, they didn't invite me to their party last time. This time they have no choice. Now I'm invited to the party and I'm going to make a noise. I'm going to make sure that people know I'm at the party. The Real Housewives of Coalition Conversations. That should have been the content that South Africa creates as a missed opportunity. There's economy in this. There's money in these shows. That's why they keep making them. Boost our economy. Make the show. Now it's too late. Missed opportunity, just like protecting Batman's identity. And this is the whole thing, is that it's in every instance of life. We're busy. We don't need a teaser for your boyfriend. We want to know, unless he's Batman, then protect him. I get it. But we want to know. We don't have time for the teasers. It's like when someone tells you a story. If you're going to tell me a long story, especially if you're going to type me a long story, if I'm 3 paragraphs in and it's going to end with a drink being thrown in a man's face, if you've got a long story that ends with just a drink in a man's face, you've wasted my time. I need more drama than that. If your story is a paragraph or 2, drink in the face, fine. That's not too bad. But 3, 4 paragraphs and it's just a drink in the face, you must do better than that. You have to do better than that. We're in a society now where we don't have time to listen to your entire story and then it's just a drink. If you're going to create a whole long story, create the drama, build the suspense. It needs to be better. The finish needs to be better. If we're getting somewhere, it better be good. And if it's going to take a long time to get there, then it better be really good. It better be really good. And that's the whole thing. And this connects to my financial advice for the day. If you're a pretty girl and you think that you should be saving some money somewhere and you get hungry, groceries are expensive. You're hungry, don't go to Uber Eats. Don't go to Pick and Pay, buy groceries and cook something for yourself. If you're hungry, go to Instagram. Go to Instagram and find the richest looking guy who's been trying to speak to you. You send him a message and you say, hey, are you busy tonight? Let's go for dinner. Let's go for dinner. Food is expensive. If a guy takes you to dinner, that's really cheap. You just show up. Just show up. You don't even need to go crazy. You don't need to wear a great outfit, wear a little bit of makeup, and he'll be disappointed and he won't contact you again if you don't want that. Do you know what I'm saying? You'll go to a really nice restaurant. You'll have great food and it'll cost you nothing. A fancy restaurant for free, that's good financial advice. Now you're feeding yourself with good quality food, good nutrition, and it's free. And it's free. And that guy, if you haven't put all the effort into dressing up nicely, he might not even want anything at the end of the night. That's the thing. That's the thing. You can go to dinner for free. It's 2024. That's my financial advice for pretty girls. And you go to a fancy restaurant. That's the other thing, is fancy restaurants. So you're paying a lot of money for anxiety. If you're the person paying at a fancy restaurant, there's a lot of anxiety attached to that. If you're not used to fancy restaurants, they're so intimidating. A fancy restaurant is so intimidating. And I'm not even saying that you've taken a girl there and you need to impress her. I want to impress the waitress. I just don't want to look like a sort of guy who never goes to a fancy restaurant, right? You sort of want to go there and be like, yes, I know, yeah. I know how fancy restaurants work. You know, I always judge fancy restaurants on these things, going through the menu. And you're like, this is so much money. And you're like, but you can't let the waitress see that this is like a lot of money for you, right? You can't let her see it. You got to be like, hey, so how are your sea urchin and sweet butternut fritters? I'll have that. I judge this is the first time I'm at this restaurant. I'll have the sea urchins and sweet pumpkin fritters because I judge every restaurant on that. You have to come up with something. Waitress sort of looks at you funny. You've made it worse because they're the only restaurant in the world that does sea urchin and sweet pumpkin fritters. But you're like, now I'm sophisticated and classy. I'll have the sea urchin and pumpkin fritters. I judge every restaurant on their sea urchin and sweet pumpkin fritters. That's how I judge a restaurant. If that's not good, I know your restaurant isn't good. And then you've sold yourself down the river because fancy restaurants are just there for your anxiety. You're paying a lot of money for anxiety. I guess that's what we're doing in South Africa as well. We're paying a lot of money in taxes to not get a Real Housewives of the Coalition, and then we're not sure what's going to happen, and then we have anxiety. Anyway, I'm Marco Martins. Good luck with the rest of your week.